Hi, hi, happy day. Pardon me. Oh, Lordy, I am freaking waking up, y'all. Hi, happy day. Thank you for visiting my channel. Today, um, uh, if you're new here, my name is Miriam. I'm an oracle or a prophet or a numerologist, or I speak with your guides or whatever. I say things, apparently, that resonate with people. Not even apparently at this point. Evidently. Ugh. I would love to say that if this is your first time meeting me, that every time I come up here I ain't coughing full of allergies and stuff. But this kind of is how it is. Sleep with a fan on and my mouth closed. So my nasal passages get real dry. That's how you're supposed to sleep. But anyway, hi. Thanks for visiting my channel. Ugh. It's been a minute and 30 seconds and I ain't said nothing except for hey. And that's alright. Last night was such an interesting night's sleep. And you know what I woke up hearing? I heard a song this morning. And the song is by Kings of Leon and it's called Sex on Fire. Lay where you're laying. Don't make a sound. I know they're watching. They're watching. Blah, 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 blah. Yo, your sex is on fire. And for me, when it comes to music in general, I like to listen to a broad range of music. And because whenever you start diving into the esoteric and the high vibe stuff, it is very much about listening to low vibe things brings your vibes low. I'm like, okay. But a bigger thing is the story that you tell yourself is something that's far more important. So yes, Kings of Leon, he's talking about the wide of the knuckles while he driving, he really getting down. But also, we can always make it about the body and make it about the pleasure. But lay where you're laying. Don't make a sound. Try and meditate. You're nasty. You better meditate. Think whatever you think. Because I know they're watching. The theys are in us. They say. Who's they? Literally, who is they? Because there are people who they say themselves out of a full life. Okay? So they're going to be watching you. You will always be seen. Like there are some of you who are here hearing that you're supposed to be posting videos. Like there are people who have already been in the community. First of all, if you're just not finding me, you're supposed to be posting videos on something, on some platform. It doesn't have to be YouTube. If you do post on YouTube, please let me know. You can tag me in it. I'll go follow your page. I want to know what's up. I want to watch y'all stuff. But if you have been listening to me for a while and you keep telling yourself, no, it's not time yet. No, not yet. Like, maybe it isn't time yet. Maybe you're not supposed to post it yet. But maybe you're supposed to film the first video that's the failure that you never post. Have you done that part yet? Have you done the behind the scenes stuff yet? Have you figured out a place to set up your phone? Or have you figured out a way to write stuff down so your face never shows? You could just write words on a screen. In fact, there are ways to there's a video thing that I use. It's called video.maker. It looks like a red thing. You can go in and add text to every slide. And then you don't even have to nothing. There are ways that you could take your idea and then put it into free AI video generating stuff. And then it can create something for you to get your message across. It doesn't have to be you sitting up here being all sweaty and stinky and just woke up with eye boogers in your face. But it can be. You do not have to show up being this fully polished gem. There is beauty in your rawness. And even whenever you're doing all those other things and polishing it up, it's still going to be raw in comparison to years from now of you doing the same thing. You're starting something new, even if you've had a channel before. But I used to make this channel back whenever I used to call myself a witch. I used to make, and I leave them there. And I made these candles. And I was doing magic. I was creating energy work. It's just the words that to identify with are very different now because I know more. I comprehend more about my current space in life. But I was making candles. I was highly producing them. I was sick at the time, but I really wanted to do this. It was the only thing that was really making me feel better, but I got so exhausted making the videos. So I stopped doing that for a while. And then I tried other things. I tried doing, because I'm a numerologist, I was like, okay, I could do readings. I've done readings on Rosa Parks and Nikola Tesla, on the United States of America. I do prophetic readings based off of, and I can do that in anybody's life. And I was posting those videos. And I like doing that for people directly, but I got exhausted making those videos. Even though I was just sitting down talking about stuff that I already know. Looking at their life paths. And really just shedding my own opinion on them at this point, because they have an entire life path at this point. They have completed their whole path. A life path is your life path number. That's from your day of birth to your end of birth, and there you go. I mean, your end of birth. You're done being born by that point. But that's it. But then you have your expression and destiny name number. So your name leaves a legacy beyond what your years were. And so those things I like to do for people, whenever I'm doing them for people who have passed on, they already know. Whenever I'm sitting there saying, Rosa, this is your stuff and this is that, what I end up saying are things that people don't really understand or comprehend. But Rosa already knows. Like, the people know now a little bit, but Rosa been knowing because she already lived her whole life. Anyway, the light went off earlier, right before I clicked my mouse. I don't know where that was even going. The whole point is that you're going to be doing stuff, and it's going to change, and it's going to be different each time. And you're supposed to fail along the way, because you're trying to see what things aren't supposed to be brought along with you in this journey. The things that weren't supposed to come with me is all the polished. My whole life I've been very polished. As somebody who is highly sensitive to what people think of them, especially growing up, my life I was doted on or criticized. And that might be me. And it's not even by my mom. My mom is who raised me. It was always about the community. It was about the people around me. I was very confused, even into my teenagehood. My appearance was something that was so confusing to people. Apparently, they ain't never seen a mixed girl. It's just a mixed girl. Ain't nothing crazy, y'all. But the way that whenever I would enter rooms, even as a kid, 3rd grade, 4th grade, anytime somebody new would see me, the way they would go, boys, and then the girls would see how the boys looked at me. I was then best friends with these girls. But turns out they were calling me the N-word behind my back. Well, not all of them, because there were some of them that were willing to, they heard them say that, and they were like, and they were about that life, and they will always be remembered as such. Because whenever I wasn't around, they defended me, even after I had slapped their sister. So some people just are about you, and some people are so pissed off by seeing your energy that they think that they hate you, but really they are seeing the visions of what you're going to be. They're seeing the, not even potential energy, but the actual energy. It was so much that even adults most likely have treated you a certain way because you already had that energy. It was 10-10 as I was saying that, by the way. You already had that energy. Even like sometimes parents, like your caretakers, the ones that are just supposed to be so happy for you for being special, were not special. Like they were not happy for you. Unless it was in front of other people to brag about you or something, to make themselves look good or something. I personally didn't experience that. So I know that isn't mine. I had a mother who was very kind to me, who told me how special I was, that I could be whatever I needed to be, whatever I wanted to be. She helped me through all the traumas that I had been through. And she was my safe space. And that's how moms are supposed to be. And if that is not what happened for you and your mom, I am sorry to hear that. Because that's what everybody deserves, 11-11, as I say this. Okay? The connection between a mother and child is so sacred. And so many people are meant to be here on this earth. And so many people haven't done the work to be the best parent that they can be. They haven't worked on themselves in the ways that they need to in order to show up in those moments when they need to show up right. And surviving that betrayal and still choosing to love and trust is something that I can only imagine the pain and the hurt and the confusion that comes with that. And so, as you move through these journeys of getting to discover your own mother within yourself, it's going to be so strange. I say this thing about connecting to your divine femininity. But it is a hard thing to do. Light went off whenever I said that. It's a hard thing to do, and the reason why is because the masculinity energy is the material world. Quite frankly, the feminine world, the femininity energy, because we all have it. Please hear this. We all have it. The masculine energy is material world energy, so it's easier to allow that to be manifested in your reality. You can literally push a rock up a mountain. That's what I chose to say yesterday. My brother heard me talking about Sisyphus, apparently. I wasn't talking of Sisyphus necessarily, but I was giving the analogy of Sisyphus. And he's really into philosophy. And so, but you can do that. You can push a stone. You could throw it into a river. But there are things that you can do materialistically in the material world. That's masculine. The sitting with yourself and being quiet and observing your thoughts, a lot of that can be done with masculinity. And there's this divine masculine and divine feminine. And we got our divine masculine. We got our divine feminine. When we look at these shapes, this is far more stable. It's like the sign of divine masculine. I'm clearing out my throat chakra, y'all. this shape is stable. A triangle is like even having a tripod. Like that's all you really need is 3 points of contact in order for something to stand. And with this, in order to stand, it's a lot easier to stand right here to balance on this line of the surface than it is this point of the surface. This here, you can build this, and it can come through comprehension and material world stuff. This here comes from comprehension, and you can build this. But it comes through comprehension of the spirit and the energetic world, the sacred flame in you, the oil, the going up your wick to light the flame. Now, whenever we are able to truly accept both sides and not be stuck believing that we have to be one or the other, we can be both, and not necessarily everybody. Look, you don't have to identify as some non-binary thing, or you don't have to identify as both, but the thing is that these are how our bodies actually work. We know that our bodies are machines. 1616 as I say this, okay? At 8:33 a.m. my time. So our bodies are these machines. And there's so much energy flowing through us. And we have these like quite honest, clear openings in our body. When we were born, we had this soft spot on our head. That's why babies are so weird to hold, and you can like see their little sometimes because their brain's right there. And it eventually fuses, but there's still holes, and there's still holes, there's still holes, there's still holes, and then there's still holes in all of us. This is kind of how our energy literally comes in and out of us now, is what we eat, and then we digest it, and it creates this combustion, and then you can let go of that waste. You can relieve that waste out of you. When you're able to do both, even if this were to like tip over and roll around, like it'll be okay. It's almost like a wheel. It'll keep going. It's not gonna really fall over. It's pretty stable. And it's still fine. And even though my drawing isn't great, what you'll notice here is this like hexagon in the middle. And when bees resonate, their buzz naturally creates a hexagon. Their frequency creates that shape. It's not like they're sitting there building, spitting out their vomit and making beeswax into that shape. They're literally vibrating it into that shape. It's wings, the way that they speak. 1818. This is where we want to be, right? We want to be vibrating at a frequency that builds our home for us, that builds our haven for us, that protects our children, that builds the structure that is so strong naturally because of how we are simply vibrating. And I say vibrating. What are we doing? We're vibrating. Buzz, buzz. No. It's literally, what are you doing in your life? Like, it's silly words sometimes, and it's confusing. From all directions, we take an energy. This is a 2D drawing. But if you really look at it, there's points coming out this way and through the back and all of that. It's a whole, like, I don't know, like if, you know, that Jax game? Jax. Except if they were like, or that one Pokemon that's like, Starfish, or whatever it's called. Look, even if I do know the names, I will never say it correctly. That's the type of nerd that I am. It's because growing up as a girl in a nerdy world, I was always having to prove that I knew things. And so I'll just really be like, oh, say it wrong on purpose? So Please don't. Please don't be trying to out nerd me. Because I just am a nerd. Anyway, y'all. As you're going through this journey, because you're going through the journey, embracing that feminine energy, learning how to balance up just a tip. I feel like that's what my voice would do if I had to be on just my like big toe. I'd be like, oh. It's a reason why 8:38 as I say that. 2052 as I say this. It is a big reason why femininity is so looked down upon. It's not that it lacks strength, it's not that it lacks power, it's that it is confusing and hard and requires so much internal work that is uncomfortable. Expanding the spiritual muscle, like imagine how like even working out is uncomfortable. Okay, lifting things and then your muscles could be sore. Like 2 days later I'm just like you think your whole like you think your soul wouldn't feel that? You think that you're like that's just so much stuff. And it's literally then quote unquote changing your vibration. And so literally, if you were like a wavelength and you were going like this, right? And then all of a sudden you're like this, you're gonna have some response to that. Even if it's a better vibration, it is still different. And there is an adjustment period. And so sometimes you need to go back to your but honestly, usually if you're kind of you know, sometimes that's the energy you gotta bring. Maybe that's just how you resonate. You just have to find the frequency that hits your resonations. Okay? You don't gotta be, oh yeah, I'm cool, I'm chill because that's what everybody wants to be. Or you don't have to be all high energy because that's what everybody wants to be. You just have to be whatever yourself actually doesn't feel uncomfortable in. There's this whole growth over comfort. Yes, there are times that you have to be uncomfortable. And the only reason you have to, because you're going to be uncomfortable, period, throughout this whole life. There's a lot of discomfort and suffering. And there are easy ways to kind of get rid of discomfort, like through drugs and alcohol and all these other things, like these instant gratifications. But then there's other suffering that comes from those things. The reason why there's so much discomfort is because when you truly find comfort, it is so easy for you to know what that is. Because it's warm. 2332 as I say that. This is something that you are simply destined to do. Whatever the purpose is, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. But when you do it, you'll find that true comfort. Something that you don't even notice that you're doing it. Oh, even I like sweat constantly whenever I do these. Like if I were to soak them up, it would be, but instead I let them drip down my sides. Okay? And then I gather. And I used to be really uncomfortable with my sweat, 24 as I say this. I used to be really uncomfortable with how my body worked in a lot of ways. I would sew pads or into my right here and I would keep them. Nothing I did fixed it. Even the clinical trials, even the medicine. I don't want to do surgery to change it. And after a while I was like, maybe I'm not supposed to fix it. Like, I sweat. Girls sweat. People sweat.
The world where
oh,
you
hello.
belong.
I've clicked on something. I paused it was off and then I paused it, and there's somebody, I don't follow them, but it's a tarot person, and their hands are like this, and the words on top are covered up, but on the bottoms that aren't covered up it says vibrational star seed. I don't really know about like star seeds per se. um Enough for me to like tell you for sure what that. I can Google it. Let me Google it. Okay, a starseed is a person who believes they originated from another planet and came to Earth to help humanity. Okay. There's other things like the beliefs and characteristics of them. So this is just what AI overview says. Okay. Beliefs. Starseeds are conduits between divine realms and Earth. Starseeds can travel between galaxies through meditation. Starseeds can communicate in light language. Starseeds are multidimensional beings made up of more than just mind and body. Let's see. Characteristics. Starseeds may feel a lack of belonging. Starseeds may be spiritual, empathetic, and sensitive. Starseeds may be intolerant of meaningless conversations. Starseeds may be hypersensitive to light, noise, and crowds. History. The term starseed originated in the 1970s. Brad Steger introduced the idea in his 1976 book, Gods of Aquarius. We are currently in the age of Aquarius, star-wise. Real world connections. Jacob Chansley, also known as QAnon Shaman, was involved in starseed beliefs. I don't know. So there's that. There's that overview. Whenever I hear stuff like this, there's lots of different ways to say it. Okay, so I'm trying to say it in a way that doesn't sound like bitchy, but it is what it is. Everyone has the ability to be a starseed. Like, it's not necessarily something that is, it's special, but it's not special, but it is special. Like, you have to reach a certain vibrational point to understand the history of the wild history that is the Akashic Records, the wild history that is humanity, because there's already so much wild history in humanity. So like if we were to add multi-dimensional beings or add aliens to the equation, you can only imagine how wild that may be. Even having the all-knowing God in Christianity, that then lets you know that there is another race of being. And like even the angels and all of that, it's kind of like they're all very like, wow, these are a lot of things. As we grow through vibrations, these are characteristics that you'll start to have. In general, you will feel like you belong somewhere else, and in fact, you might even dream of other planets. I dream of like planet hopping all the time, and so it's something that a lot of people can tap into, especially through meditation. There are some people, since because we are all one, we're kind of everybody. Like, I'm Anne Frank and I'm Hitler. Okay, I'm my mom and I'm also my kids, and I'll also be my great grandkids, and then, but also my great grandkids are also Anne Frank and Hitler. You know, like we're also Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. Like we're everybody that we hate and love, and everything in between. And whenever we meditate, we're able to tap into that all knowing and that inner wisdom and feel that connection. A lot of people the way that people are able to find that through psychedelics. I personally have never taken psychedelics because I got enough psychedelic stuff happening naturally for me. I already have so much going on in my mind that I'm not at the point where I feel comfortable doing that. Some people need that in order to have that breakthrough. I do believe the amount of trauma that I endured, and perhaps I was just born with an inner wisdom that I could tap into right away. People say that I was a very interesting kid. I was there, but I wasn't there. You know, I was a baby. And even whenever I go back and look at it, I still just see me the whole time. It's hard for me to see me as strange because I have always felt like this. Really, technically, I've always felt like 82 years old. I have an old name. My name is Miriam. It's literally biblical. It is, yeah, it's an old name. So I've always felt old. And people always kind of treated me more mature than they should have. And I've always been the person that people feel comfortable opening up their energies to, like, to about their hard times, even adults. And so maybe it's because of the Aquarius. I have an Aquarius rising, or because of the Pisces sun or the Libra moon. It could be any of the things that are out there in general. Where there are certain energies about you specifically that are resonating with that stuff. So if you are at this point where you are not able to, when you're having these characteristics, then you should probably start focusing on your meditation, maybe even recording it if you want to. Not necessarily to post it, but you can record your things after your meditation once you've had a download. But that doesn't mean go into it just trying to find a way to something to post. You know, go into it finding yourself and the knowledge that or in the comprehension that you're supposed to have in this moment, so then you can spread it if you feel like it. A lot of times once we have comprehension, our ego wants to spread it almost immediately, as opposed to like really letting it simmer. Like goes off whenever I said that, by the way. Instead of letting it simmer a bit longer and letting it settle within their fibers, and that can really make it to where they lose it right away. So if you are getting a nice download or whatever, sit on it for like a week, or like really live in that reality of that new download information, and then go on from there, and then see what you want to do. You're supposed to tell your story though, in some way. Period. Right at 33 minutes. So I'm gonna like hop off here because yeah, this has been kind of a longer one, and that's okay. I don't really have anything to do. I'm just still cleaning. Deep clean should be completed by Tuesday, God willing. Lots of interesting energy. So in the meantime, lovies, y'all keep a lookout for the numbers, and y'all stay super synchronized. I didn't turn it off.